And today, we are pleased to have two alumni, um, Ms. Parikira and also Mr. Woon, to join us in this webinar to share their life when they are pursuing the Master of Environmental Technology in Utah, right? So before that, just let me share about the prospect of the environmental technology in the current industry before I introduce the two alumni to you guys. And let me just share my screen. Mr. Tam, you have disabled my share screen functions. Can you open it up for me?
Oh, yeah, you give me a second, yeah? Let me get back. Okay. Okay. It's good to go.
All right, thank you. Yeah, good to go. All right, so the prospect of environmental technology in current industry, which will be the main topics for today, right? So yeah, I just want to share with you some of the experience when I'm the assistant professor in Faculty of Engineering and Green Tech as a climate change researchers. So you know that there's a lot of environmental problem. So yeah, you can see our Earth is actually is a natural environment which known as the ecosystem. So which include the living and non-living things. So the human being also part of this ecosystem. Unfortunately, there's a numbers of these environmental pollutions occur everywhere, especially in this decade. And last year, right, we have a COVID virus and then infections and our Earth get into the pandemics. So everyone actually, yeah, we are focused on the COVID virus infections. So maintain your hygiene, wash your hand, wearing the mask. And also people start talking about the economic recessions, right? So from these figures I get from online, so you see the problem right now is much more bigger awaiting us, the climate change and also the biodiversity collapse, which caused by the environmental pollutions, right? So you can wash your hand, but we cannot wash our hand from the climate change and also environmental pollutions. So yeah, we have to think about the solutions, okay? The solutions, how we can tackle the climate change and also the pollutions happen in the world, right? Just like I say, COVID virus, actually you can reduce the infections by wearing the mask, okay, maintain your personal hygienes and have vaccinations. But the problem right now here is a long-term problem. So as academicians in Utah, actually we are thinking about apply the environmental technologies to tackle the sectoral issues. And myself actually working in the climate change modeling and try to predict the impact which caused by the climate change. This is actually all under the environmental technologies. Some other technologies such as the wastewater treatments and the solid waste management, air pollution control system, those are also part of these environment technologies. Of course, our governments are actually taking some initiative, right, in their policy, such as the National Green Technology Master Plan for the year 2017 and also for 2017 until 2030. So there is a substantial action plan developed by the Malaysian governments to tackle the problems. And of course, recently, I think just weeks ago, we got this Child Malaysia plan, right, which outline all the development activities for Malaysia for the next 5 years, right, starting from 2021 to 2025. And from in these Child Malaysia plans, I just would like to highlight one direction which taking part by the Malaysian government is the team number 3, which advancing the sustainability, right? The sustainable development directions. And there are 2 sectors. One is on the energy, and other one is on the water sectors. Right? You can see from here, actually we are moving towards to these directions. How we can achieve the sustainability. Of course, there's a lot of solution, but we have to get these technologies, especially for this green, or sometimes we call it environmental technologies, to help us, which we can maintain our livelihoods in the earth. And for the private sectors, okay, just now the planning is actually on the public sectors. And how in the private sectors, you can aware that the Bursa Saham actually require all the listing company, whether you are in the banking sectors, you are in the oil and gas sectors. As long as you want to list it in the Bursa Saham, you need every year you need to submit the environmental, social, and governance reports. Okay, every year need to submit to the Bursa Saham in order to let the investor to know what is the sustainability directions by the companies. And also for the SME, there will be another reportings, right? Require the SME to submit these sustainability reports. So from here you can see actually we are actually moving these directions. This environmental sector is getting importance, especially right now, right? So we have to we got to understand that even though you are the science students, right? Maybe you are the science students which is not related to environment. You may ask, what is the problem? Is there any relationship with me? But as long as you're working in this, let's say about the public listing companies, you have to pay a part and contribute to this sustainability reportings. Right, so this is the master program I mentioned just now. So UTA just would like to take the opportunity to inline all the government initiative and the policy and train the professionals and which can service to the industries. And yeah, this program is accredited by the MQA, and you can see if you're interested, you can go to this website, have a look on the detailed informations. So before I end my discussion, just some quick survey which I have done yesterday. I just go to the job street and I just type the keywords into the job street. So you can see that the number of the vacancy now, especially if you type the term sustainability, you can get the 1,500 of vacancy in the industry right now. So if you type the environmental officers to 208 vacancy, ESGs, and also the environmental consultants. So yeah, the sector is burning right now. So yeah, I think that there is my just a very quick survey, and yeah, I think that's my presentation. So maybe I just would like to invite the first speakers, Mr. Woon. Right, just let me to have the brief introductions about Mr. Woon. I think yeah, based on the CV, right? Mr. Woon's graduated as biomedicals, so he has experience working as a microbiologist and also experience as laboratory technologist. And he graduated his first degree in year 2014, right? And then after that, he joined the industry. And in 2015, so he joined the UTA as a laboratory manager. After that, he promoted to the assistant lecturers. So at the same time, he pursuing our master program when he were the assistant lecturers. And I think now he's promoted as a full lecturer in Center of Foundation Studies. Right, so without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Woon so to give us discussions about his life when you were the students of Master of Environmental Technologies, right?
Okay, hello. Can I take over the screen?
Yes, okay. Just a
Okay,
second.
thank you. Yeah. Share screen. Good afternoon to everyone. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend so far. So my name is Woon. Today I'm going to share on my experience during the study of this Master of Environmental Technology. So as Dr. Tan has introduced me, so actually I'm a Utah graduate from foundation until master. So I study in Utah. So firstly, foundation I studied in Utah, I think around 2010, and then I continue with my 3-year degree study biomedical science, graduated in 2014, and then I went to work as a microbiologist in the Kulim because that time fresh graduate, right, very hard to get the job. That's why I went so far for the job. And then after that, I got another offer in my hometown, which is the BP lab. I believe everyone know what is a BP lab. It's a blood lab. Especially now, they are doing the COVID swab, right? Many people going there to do the COVID-19 swab. So I also worked there for some time before finally I come back to Utah to work as the lab officer here. So actually, as a lab officer here, I work in the Faculty of the Engineering and the Green Technology in the Environmental Engineering department. So I help to prepare the practical for the environmental engineering. So I have worked for I think around a few years, maybe 2 to 3 years, and then I have heard some of the news that there's a new master program coming out, which is this Master of Environmental Technology. So I have some interest in that. So upon upon further checking, so I enrolled to the master, and then I did a part-time study while working as the lab officer there also. So for this master, right, I actually took 2.5 years to complete because I am doing part-time. So if you do full-time, right, I think you can complete in 1 year like Miss Pavitra. So let's continue. So currently I'm working as the lecturer in the foundation Utah Kampala. So I see the participant list. I guess a few of the participants are actually my ex-student. So nice to meet you again. So this one, my slide is actually quite simple, just some photos. So I will be going to tell you some story based on the photos here. So this one is actually the time when I work as the lab officer. This one is actually the first practical that I prepare for the environmental engineering. So I was really happy that it turned out well that time. So this is also the lab that we are going to use for the Master of the Environmental Technology. So actually, I also do my practical using this lab. It's the same one. So upon enrolling to the master, the first trimester, I actually took the wastewater treatment course and also the air pollution study. So both of these courses actually involves some of the practical. There is some of the practical. So in the master degree level, right, there is actually no more spoon feeding. So it's actually open-ended lab. So we need to design our own experiment, and then we need to think of the apparatus and the chemical that we want. Then we need to inform the lab officer. Then only they will prepare for us. Even for the sample, right, you can see here the water sample here. We also need to collect by ourselves. Usually degree foundation, the sample is provided by the lab, right? But now master, no more spoon feeding. So we need to collect our own sample. So this one is actually the Utah Lake, one part of the Utah Lake. So we collected the wastewater here for the experiment. And then on the right, this one is actually, I am doing the experiment for the air pollution, This one is actually an equipment that can measure the particle in the air, the pollutant in the air. So this one is actually on the rooftop of one of the Utah building. So this one is the experiment that I did when I was studying the master. And then one of the memorable thing that I remember during my master is that for the wastewater treatment, right, one of it is the flocculation experiment. So this experiment, right, we are facing so much problem because the chemical, right, the amount, we cannot get it right. Only when we get the amount of the chemical right, then the floating particle can be sedimented. So this one we actually have problem with this one. So we actually troubleshoot the whole day in the lab until I think until 12 midnight that time. So this one, but then finally in the end, right, we were going to give up on the experiment because cannot work. But in the end, right, it finally worked. So Miss Pavitra finally figured something out, what's wrong with the experiment. Then we successfully demonstrated the experiment to the lecturer in the practical next day. So this one is actually a good memory for me. This one, the flocculation experiment. We collected the wastewater ourselves, the sample ourselves, the chemical, what chemical that we want, we also decided ourselves. So it was really happy that it worked out in the end. And then also for the last practical, so you can see here, this one is a picture of the last practical class for the Master of Environmental Technology. So for this course, right, I think for the wet lab, you only have the wastewater treatment and also the air pollution. So wastewater treatment, this is the last practical. So this one is actually my lecturer, Dr. Lam, and this one is Miss Pavitra, and this one is another of my classmate. So beside the practical, we also I have also been involved in the external audit for the master program because students are actually also stakeholder for the program. So they will have some interview with the student to find out our opinion about the course so that they can do continuous improvement on the course. So this is also one of the things that I went through as a student. And also another thing is that Miss Pavi is actually my senior. We only have spent one trimester together before she graduated. So I also have joined her graduation here. You can see. And then actually before I completed my master study, right, only halfway through the master study, I got the opportunity to join the foundation, to join the Center of Foundation Study. At first, what I was doing part-time, I was working as the lab officer and also studying. But midway, I got an opportunity. I went for the interview. And then I also joined to the Center for Foundation Study midway of my study. So you can say before I graduated, I already been employed to another place. And then after I joined that CFS, I also continue to keep doing my study. Still got halfway to go. So this one, I was doing the, how to say, the experiment or the assignment for the environmental impact assessment course. So this one, we need to go outside. We need to find a place outside the environment, and we need to find the different species of the animal and the plant, and also the weather, so we can do a report on the environment. So this one is actually also Utah. This is also part of the Utah. So I was looking for the plant, different species of the plant, and also the animal. And then here is another course where we learn about the green technology. You can say the green technology. So this one is actually a very big solar panel. So I believe this one is actually a landmark in the Utah Kampa campus. If you study here, so I believe you have seen this before. So this one is the solar energy panel. And then I also did a testimonial for the IPSR. I think this one is after I graduated. So this one is after I graduated. So I did a testimonial for the IPSR. So and also for my project lah. So for Master of Environmental Technology, it's actually a coursework mode. You need to take the exam, but you also need to do something like a final year project. So my final year project is doing something on the climate change model. So I went to the KL, the government department, to collect the data. So thankfully, everything is smooth lah. Everything is smooth sailing for my project. No major issue for that. So I'm grateful for that one. And also Dr. Tan was my project supervisor that time. So by the time I finished my, my master, right? That time already COVID is starting to hit Malaysia. So I actually did not have my graduation. I only take my graduation shot. So I did not attend the convocation ceremony. So these are my family members. So in total, I take I take 2.5 years to complete this study. But in the end, I feel like it's really worth it, because after I complete this study, I get another job, and also my quality of life has improved immensely. So this is actually all from me. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Woon, for your sharing about the study life. I believe that this is full of the challenge, sweetness, and the bitterness of the study life. I hope your, the one you presented, you look up the practical until 12 midnight is not going to scare off all the potential students. Right. Anyway, before we go to the Q&A session, maybe just we move to the second speakers, Ms. Paritira. Just let me to give a very quick introductions about the background of Ms. Paritira. So her first degree is first degree is on the Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science from University of Nottingham, Malaysia. She graduated in 2016. After that, she joined the study in Utah. So she enrolled the Master of Environment Technology in 2017. So she just spent 1 year with us, and then she graduated the master program in mid of the 2018. And she was working as a project manager in GeoViral Satran Bahas, and then also now she is working as an environmental engineer in Nexus EC Satran Bahas. So without further ado, maybe just let me invite Ms. Paritira. Maybe you can share with us the current working life and also the prospect of environmental technology in the current industry. So Ms. Pari, the mic is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Tan. Can you hear me?
Yes, crystal clear.
Okay. Yep. I think it's been a very good section so far. I hope everyone is enjoying the session. Without further delay, let me just share my screen. So, okay. Okay, let me just brief through about myself. So just as what Dr. Tan have said, so my bachelor degree was in environmental science at University of Nottingham, and I further proceed my studies in masters at environment, doing environmental technology. So basically, I love environment. That's why my degree and masters are in environmental field. So currently I'm working as environmental engineer at Nexus Engineering Consultant. So it's been 3 years after my graduation from Utah. So yeah. So during the course, I think some of the pictures Mr. Woon have shared as well. So these are some courses that is in the program, and well, these are some activities that I had during my course. I was a full-time student, so I managed to finish the course within 1 year. So, you know, I did the thought masters, which is also where I also need to do research So my research was under Dr. Tan as well, doing climate modeling. So, in my sharing sections, I would be briefing more on the application or in the industry right now, on how the masters helped me to pursue my career right now. So let me introduce some background of where I'm working right now. I'm working at Nexus Engineering Consultant. That's a short form of the EC. So this consultant firm have been in industry for 25 years now, and they are involved in many mega projects such as ECRL, the HSR projects, many highway projects, and so on. So they are expert in various sectors, which is basis. The basics come from whatever that I have been taught in masters during the in Utah. So let me just show you some of the applications, how the Master of Environmental Technology assist me in my career. So as I said, my research was basically on the uh, climate modeling. So this is one of the effect when I entered my working career. So where we have to work on the flood modeling in order to show how we can prevent or overcome flooding issues in Malaysia and so on. So this is a project which I'm working on currently as well. So where we do flood modeling as well to come up with what is the suitable mitigation measures that can be undertaken to prevent floods, because flood can cause a lot of damages and impact to the economy. So, with climate change is happening on one side, and the other side, people are just developing and development is expanding. We should also equally focus on how to improvise the livelihood adapting to the climate change right now. So this is one of the projects that I'm working on right now. So this is how it works. For example, this was in Penang, and we do the climate modeling. So the climate modeling is similar to, it's using a numerical method to show what are the impact in the real situations. So the basis of, the baseline for whatever I'm doing right now came from some of the courses in the master's course that I did in Utah. So just similar as air pollution monitoring and so on. Yeah. And also in master's course, there's a topic which is on wastewater, where even Mr. Woon have said that we have to collect the samples ourselves, and we design our own lab procedures and make sure the experiment is successful. So a similar scale is now used in the industry. So for example, this is a project that I have worked on, which is designing wastewater in islands for Terengganu. So basically in islands, there's limited water treatment facilities or treated water facilities. So on my left here is actually where the resort extracts the water from, which is a well. So the well connects to the groundwater. So the extraction is directly, so there's no treatment, but there's a storage. So from the storage, it directly goes to the pipe of the resorts. Sometimes we are not sure what are the content of groundwater and can have serious health impacts. So my project was to design a treatment plant to treat the groundwater and check on the water quality before the usage of people for the resorts. So in that way, we can secure the health of people, and also, this might generate a greater revenue for the resorts when securing people's health as well. They can provide better services for the people. So it's directly also contributing to the economy of the country. You can see how the study can contribute. So this is another project that I have been working on, which is more on the renewable energy. I think Utah's master program overall covers on things that are needed right now, which is like renewable energy, climate change, and we have to get technologies to adopt these changes, and also to provide a sustainable solution which everybody can adopt and live right now. So this is a project which is called transfer station. Transfer station means it's a station which holds solid waste or the waste temporarily before being transferred to landfills. On my right is a solar farm which we have designed in Selangor of 300 megawatt. So, you know, designing solar power plants can reduce the fossil fuel burning and therefore the carbon emissions. So even solar farms, and also we have, you know, in landfills, we can do biogas generations, which can be utilized for the local residents. So, you know, while working in my firm right now, we are also doing the landfill design management, whereby we are moving to class 4 landfill, which is a safe sanitary landfill closure, which means the landfill does not have any impact to the public or surrounding area. So last but not least, there's few more course which is taught can be applied. For example, the integrated river basin management. So this is a proposal in Perak where, you know, there's a lot of water resources in Malaysia, but, you know, we underutilize the water resources. So at times we face water rationings, at times we face floodings. So this is an issue where we are still a lack of certain important things in managing the water resources. So this is how study from Utah have showed a way on how to apply integrated river basin management in the real life. So, you know, we using the application or the knowledge taught, we can actually see how we can utilize the water resources even in better ways. So on the left corner here is application of GIS. So GIS is an upcoming and most interesting industry currently, where anything can be visualized and you know, the impacts can be shown. So for example, this is a project where it's a road network to be built across a hilly area. So using the GIS, we actually can see the slope issues that we might face during the construction and needed to be taken care. So this kind of applications also reduces the cost and also optimizes the design to ensure it's safe for public and safe use for everyone. So this is how the master course have uh, helped me in my current career, and also will be helping me in the future. So I think it's really worth it of me studying in Utah, and I was the first student for this course. Yeah, so I think that's all from myself. I pass back the session to Dr. Tan.
All right, thank you, Miss Baritira. Okay, yeah, quite interesting sharing of your current working experience, and also actually I'm pleased that you're able to apply all the knowledge that you learned from this master program into your current careers. And yeah, before we move to the Q&A session, just let me to invite the participant. If any question would like to ask our two alumni, so please post it into the chat box. All right, while waiting your questions, there are some burning questions we'd like to ask both of you, right? So maybe the first question goes to the Mr. Woon. So yeah. So Mr. Woon, since you are graduating your first degree in biomedicals, and why did you choose this program, which is totally different from your first degree as your postgraduate studies?
Hello. I actually chose this one because I have already have some basic life, because before I study, right, I already worked as a lab officer in the environmental engineering. So I actually more or less learned some of the thing from the lecturer already lah. So I have already have some basic, and also for this course, right, has its advantage because I think it's one of the very few courses in the master that is doing the coursework mode, meaning that it's not in a full research mode. So personally, I like to do I like to take exam lah. It's my personal preference. I like to take exam more than doing the full-time research. So that's why I choose this one. Yes, thank you.
But since you are working in the Utah, just now you presented you are working as a Utah lab officer during your studies. So yeah, as a part-time student. So as a part-time student, what was the major challenge, and how you're going to you address it?
Doing part-time, of course, has its challenge most on the how to say the time management. So you really need to manage your time well because from 8:30 to 5:30, I need to do a full-time job, and then afterward, 6 o'clock, then I have to attend the class. I need to attend the class at 6 o'clock, and then also I need to do my tutorial. I need to do my tutorial assignment, all that. So basically need to manage my time very well. So that time I was really happy when there's a public holiday coming or a long public holiday coming so that I can get more time to do my project and also my assignment. So actually that 2.5 years is very tough, but it's actually a good memory. So I think it's worth it also. Thank you.
Yeah, I think everyone like the public holidays. And anyway, one last question to you. Yeah. So many courses in the program you have taken in the studies. So which was the favorite course in the program?
So I think that all the courses are interesting, but the most memorable one is the one that we are doing the wastewater treatment because that one was really the open-ended lab, like where we are going to find the aquatic plant, where we are going to find the water. All that is actually very memorable. And also the lecture is also quite interesting. Like the technology that we learn, different technology that we learn to get to treat the wastewater. So I believe this is the most interesting course for me.
Yeah, the most bitter one is the most is your favorite course. Anyway,
Yeah.
Thank you for your answers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think there are some questions just posed to the Miss Paridira. Since Miss Paridira, your first degree is graduated from University of Nottingham, Malaysia, right? Yeah, after you enroll the master program and then you move to the Kampa and study the master program. So what do you think about the Kampa campus?
Okay, so well, Kampa campus, I still in love with Kampa because it is so much reserved and nicer, quiet there compared to KL, which is always busy. So the difference is that during my bachelor degree, the study is about environmental science, which focus on science things. And when I come to during my master's, it's more on the technology, which is, I think, much more needed right now in these current situations. So I think in that way, Utah has a very good cause to be undertaken.
All right. I think that's good to you. I think you only spent one year in Kampa. Yeah, probably maybe you wish to spend more time, then you can pursue your PhD in our faculty as well. Anyway, yeah. Another question is actually related to your current career, and how did the university prepare you in the current career and also prepare you to face the real world?
So I think the university basically, as Mr. Woon said, more of they basically give you a baseline condition, let's say before entering the real world, where all those things that you learn and do independently while you're just being taught with some of the basic theory or knowledges. So I think in that way, when you come to the real industry, it's a different scale and complexity. But then when you have the basis, I think you can just apply and explore more to apply it in the industry. So in that way, I think Utah prepare students in a well manner. So they provide the necessary informations and knowledges that is required.
All right, I think that's quite important for someone who are working now in the industry, especially those soft skill, communication skill. And yeah, one last question to you. Yeah, this is also related to the topics, the main topic of the day. Do you think the current industry trends? Maybe I ask another. What do you think about the current industry trends of the environmental technologies?
So I think there are more importance given to the environment currently. So no matter what you're focusing on, either the air or water or the waste management, there are equal and higher importance are given. So I think enrolling a course which is related to environment will actually help you to sustain for your career in the future, as well as it's not just environment is not only helpful for the environment, but also for your business growth and everything. So adopting things in the right way assists you in your business and your career growth.
All right, thank you. So yeah, I think that's it. The question what I have.
And now, this is a master of environmental technologies, some details. So if you are interested, so you can refer to the slides. So we do offering 2 intakes per year, the January and the May. So if you are coming to graduates, the master degree in the environmental or the science or the engineering related field, it's possible for you to apply for these master programs. And for the full-time is a 1-year degree, for the part-time is a 2 years degree. These are standards, and maximums for the part-time can drag to 6 years, but hopefully not. Usually it should be 3 years or 4 years to finish. And the fees for the whole programs, if you are the local, the Malaysians, is around 17,000 more or less. And if you are the international students, they are around 26,000 more or less. Okay. So if you are interested to apply to the programs, it is you can approach the IPSR to submit the applications to the coming January intake or the May intake. So IPSR, the Institute of Postgraduate Study and Research, is the institute in charge of the admissions of the postgraduate study and the other postgraduate matters. Okay, so other than in fact, for your information, the Master of Environmental Technology is under the coursework mode. So what is a coursework? Means that you don't have to go for a thesis at the time, right? So for the coursework mode, they don't have to go for the thesis, right? Is it just a FYP, right?
Yes, just need to carry out a project.
Yeah.
Projects.
So how is the FYP to be conducted here?
It depends on your topic, whether you want to do the experimental level or you want to do the modeling, just like Mr. Woon and Ms. Paritira. So it actually depends on the topics that you chose.
Okay, thank you for the time. Okay, so this the Master of Environmental Technology is under the coursework mode, and we do offer some other programs by the coursework, the mixed mode, and the research mode as well. So I can refer to the list. So it depends on your bachelor degrees background. So usually if you would like to enroll to the different master degree, it highly depends on the bachelor degree. Example, like if you are interested to the strategy communications, you should have the social science background or the mass comm background. And the MBA, you should have the business background. If not, you need to go through the prerequisites. Yeah. Yeah, talk about the prerequisite, right? Is it Dr. Tan again? Yeah. So if the engineering sphere students, they are still allowed to apply for these programs, right? But did they need to go for the prerequisites?
Yeah, if the student graduated as an environmental engineering, they don't need to go for the prerequisite course. But any others engineering or science graduates, so they need to sit the prerequisite course just like the other program in Utah. Okay. So the prerequisite course is just is an extensive prerequisite course. Usually we will finish it within 2 weeks time.
2 weeks means that if the students want to apply, they need to submit at least around 1 month earlier to conduct the prerequisite, right? Is it?
Yes, at least I think at least 1.5 months because there's some procedure that we need to follow.
Okay, thank you. So back to the list. So you can see that this is what we're offering by the coursework modes, and this list of the master programs we're offering by the mixed mode, and some more we have the research mode. The research mode is available for the master programs and the PhD programs. And same as the master program, it will depend on your background if you are considered for the research mode studies. Okay. And the English requirement. So at least you have a MOIS band 3, or you have the IELTS, you have the others, SPM or UEC, is it? You are eligible to apply for the master programs. But if you do not have a MOIS only with SPM or the UEC English, before you enroll, you need to go through the English assessments. Okay, this is a general requirement of the master programs, the master of environmental technology. So if your CGPA is 2.75 above, then it is clear-cut case directly enroll to the programs. But if your CGPA is below 2.75, you need to go through the rigorous internal assessment. That can be like the interview or like the handwriting assessments. And you're welcome to apply, even like if you're not graduate from Utah, or you have friends that not graduate from Utah but have a related field, they are welcome to apply for the programs. What happens if you do not have a master, if you don't have the bachelor degree programs? No worry, you can still consider apply through APPEL, the APPEL A. So, example like you have the STPM or a diploma, you do not have a bachelor degree. In fact, right, you can apply to the master program by using APPEL. You need to register with an APPEL center, sit for the test, and after the test done, you will get the certificate, the APPEL certificate. With the APPEL certificate, you can apply to the master programs. Okay, these some of the master programs you're offering. You can apply to APPEL, but not only for this is not the only programs. Lastly, at the end, if you have any further inquiry, you can just approach us, the division of program promotions, through the video chat or the live chat service. Or you need to make a video chat appointment, you can just go through the link shown at the slide, the www.peaktimes.com/Utah to make appointments for the video chat. And we do have several the hotlines, the WhatsApps contacts. You can just approach us through WhatsApp contacts. You can just text us or you can call us. The traditional way, the email, you can just send us the email to the postgrad@utah.edu.my for the master inquiry, or if you would like to look for other inquiry like the application status or the other programs, or if you're international students, we have a difference of the email address. Okay, today's webinar, as mentioned at the beginning, we're going to post it to the Facebook page Utah for you. This is our page. So after the webinar finish is done, and if you still need have a review, or you your friends need a review, they can back to the Utah for you the page to get the recorded versions of today's webinars. And if they are, if you have any friends prefer to use the WeChat to contact us, this WeChat QR scanner. So the webinars is end until this slide, and it's 5 p.m. already. Again, thank you for Dr. Tan, Mr. Woon, and Ms. Pavi for today's sharing. And again, thank you for all the participants to have the great evening moments with us today. And I would like to meet you again at the campus. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you, bye. Thank you very much.